My husband and I have been together for 4 years, married for 2. We always planned on having kids, but 7 months ago, we found out it was happening a lot sooner than we expected. He bought his truck right before we met. He loved that thing, maybe even obsessed with it. I knew this from the start, and it never changed during our relationship. He spent a lot of money on it, and continued to pour money into it. Everything he did in his spare time revolved around that truck. All his friends were truck enthusiasts too, and he was even part of a cute little truck club. Honestly, I don't think we've ever taken my car anywhere together. He doesn't make a ton of money, but he enjoys his job and always paid his share of our expenses. So I never minded him spending his extra cash on his truck. When we found out I was pregnant, we were both scared, shocked, and excited. A few months ago, he brought up the idea that he might not be able to afford the truck and the baby. I hadn't even considered if it was practical, given how big and loud it was. We didn't discuss it for a while, but a few weeks ago, he told me he was going to try to sell the truck. He said he couldn't manage the payments and upkeep while raising a child. Surprisingly, he was in good spirits about it and found potential buyers quickly. He sold it a couple of days later for a good price and bought a car the next day. It's been around 3 weeks since he sold the truck, and he has changed completely. We used to laugh and have fun together, but now I don't think I've seen him smile since. I've tried everything to lift his spirits and distract him, but nothing seems to work. He comes home from work, watches TV until bed, and just drains the energy from the room. When I asked why he hasn't been hanging out with his friends, he told me it was because he sold his truck. Everything they did together revolved around that truck, and he felt it wouldn't be the same without it. Last night, he confessed he feels resentment and bitterness towards me, even though it was entirely his decision to sell it. He doesn't understand why he feels that way. What can I do to help him get past this? Is he depressed? I just don't know what to do. I know it was just a truck, but it clearly meant more to him than I realized. A lot of people suggested he might regret selling the truck. They mentioned he could consider buying a less expensive one instead of feeling like he had to downgrade from his dream truck. I hope he changes his mind about that. Others pointed out that he not only gave up his truck, but also his social circle. Being cut off from friends can feel incredibly lonely. They suggested I reach out to his truck buddies to help him reconnect with them. Maybe they could find a project truck they could work on together. His friends reached out, but he said he felt weird and uncomfortable hanging out without his own truck. He had a Ram 3500 Cummins, which was a significant investment. 3 weeks later, I wanted to share an update because I love reading positive outcomes. I got a lot of responses that helped me understand what he was going through. We finally had a good talk about it. He admitted that the truck was part of his identity. I told him I knew he didn't want the car he bought, and he agreed. We discussed it further and figured out a solution. He sold the car and decided to use mine instead. Our schedules worked out, and I was going on maternity leave soon anyway. He found a totaled truck for sale, but the engine was still in good condition, the one he wanted. He bought it for a great deal, and he and a couple of friends stripped it down for parts. The engine is now in our garage. After a couple of weeks, he found a truck to put the engine into, and he and a friend are going to pick it up this weekend. He's back to his old self again, and we couldn't be more excited for the baby to arrive.